Hi future officers, welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT360 series session in which we cover the important general awareness and economics and social issues current affairs from examination point of view. And my dear friends, today we will be covering the important current affairs of 1st of August 2025. I hope that all of you are really preparing well for your upcoming examinations like RBI, SEBI, NABARD and IBPSPU, SBAPU and all other examinations. And let me tell you here that the CT360 series session is your one-stop solution for your current affairs preparation for your examinations. When it comes to these sessions, we not just cover the important current affairs, but we also helps you to understand, retain and attempt the MCQs which are going to be asked from these current affairs in your upcoming examinations. And that's why we conduct this session across the three important stages, where the first stage is the revision of the previous aspects and dimensions of the session. Apart from that, the second stage is basically the coverage of important current affair articles of the given date that we are going to cover on that particular day. And then the last but not the least, the practice of the MCQs that can be asked from these current affairs in your upcoming examinations. And that's why, my dear friends, following these sessions regularly is really very important for your upcoming examinations. Okay, now moving ahead, here is the schedule of all the important current affair initiatives that we at EduTap have taken for your current affairs preparation. Like for the government schemes, we are having a government scheme session that we conduct every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10:30 a.m. Then for the descriptive writing, we are having the Perspective 360 series session that we conduct every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. And the people who are preparing for banking examinations or the Reserve Bank of India exam, so let me tell you here that finance current affairs and RBI notifications plays a very important role there, and that is why we are conducting Finance 360 series session which we cover Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning. Now comes the last but not the least, your CT360 series session where we cover the important general awareness and economics and social issues current affairs from examination point of view. So these sessions are being conducted every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 5 p.m. So please make sure that you are following these sessions regularly so that you are constantly being updated about the latest current affairs which are happening around you and can be asked and can become the part of your upcoming examinations, right? So guys, before moving ahead, here is the list of all the topics that we are going to cover in the today's session. You can see here the first three topics are the ones which are important for both phase 1 and the phase 2 if you are preparing for regulatory bodies exams like RBI, NABARD, right? And the remaining current affair articles are only relevant for the phase 1 examination. But if you are preparing for the banking examination, then let me tell you here that all these articles are important for your phase 2 exam, because in your phase 2 exam we see that the current affairs are being asked in your banking examinations. So for each and every exam there is a certain requirement, and covering all of them in the single series, that is your CT360 series session. And now my dear friends, I hope that आप सभी पिछले सेशन के important aspects को अच्छे से याद करके आए हैं. Now let's just focus on the revision part of the previous session, and here is the list of the questions that you have to answer me in the comment section. So the first question is, Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam 2025 was being inaugurated for 5 years of the National Education Policy 2020. You have to tell me here who was the chairperson of NEP 2020 drafting committee. What is the name of the person? It is Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan. That is the right answer. That is the right answer. Next question. So which company signed MOU with the DPIIT under the Build in Bharat initiative? What is the name of that company? That is Ather Energy. Ather Energy is the right answer. So guys, it is very important that we are revising the important aspects of the previous session before coming to the new session, because whenever it comes to the current affairs, revision is the key. That's why we have to ensure that we are revising constantly about these important current affairs from examination point of view. Moving to the next question. We all know that recently the COP15, Ramsar COP15 was being held and India's resolution was being passed there. But what was the venue of this particular COP? So where exactly it was held? It was held in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is the right answer. Now moving ahead to the theme of the COP15. So now you have to tell me here that what exactly was the theme of COP15. So what exactly it was? Protecting wetlands, our common future. That was the theme of COP15 which held in Zimbabwe. Now the next question is on the National Perspective Plan. First you have to tell me the year in which it was being established. It was launched in year 1980. And when it comes to this particular plan, there are 30 interlinking of the river projects which have been identified. Now you have to tell me here, what is the name of that particular first interlinking river project of our country under the National Perspective Plan? What is it? It is Ken-Betwa project. Ken-Betwa project. And for this, an MOU was been signed between the two states. What are the name of the two states between which MOU was been signed? That is Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. That is the right answer. Moving ahead to the next question, e-Jagriti portal. So we talked about the Consumer Protection Act 2019 in the previous session. So with this related to a portal, that is e-Jagriti portal, you have to tell me here in which year it was been launched. It was been launched in year 2023 under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Now you have to tell me the organization which was responsible for the development of e-Jagriti portal. What is the name of that organization? It is NIC. NIC, National Informatics Center, is the right answer. So I hope that most of you have given me the right answer to this question. Now moving on to the next revision set. So the first question is on the Global Tiger Day. On which date it is being celebrated every year? What is the date? The date is 29th of July. The date on which we celebrate this particular day. Now the next question is the Golden Book of World Record for performing the longest Bharatnatyam, that is continuously for 170 hours. What is the name of that person? So the name of the person is Ramona. Moving to the next part, India's first Hindi medium medical college will be set up in which state? It will be set up in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. That is the right answer. Next question, the first woman vice chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University. What is the name of this person? She is Professor Uma Kanjilal. That is the right answer. Next question is the first country globally which has introduced a comprehensive ban of the usage of the social media apps by the under 16 children. What is the name of that country? So the name of the country is Australia. So how many of you have given me the right answer in the comment section, guys? Please tell me here. So it is very important for us to revise the important aspects of the previous session, right? So that we are able to ensure that in the last session, whatever we have covered, we are able to retain them. And if a question will be asked, even without the options, we are able to answer those questions. That is what we are trying to ensure with our sessions, that you are able to answer the question even without the requirement of any options that are being provided to you. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let's move on to the important news articles of 1st of August 2025. And the first topic that we are going to cover here is the World Economic Outlook, July 2025. So guys, we all know that World Economic Outlook is the report which provides us the analysis of the economy and the projections of the economy for the upcoming near and medium term. So now, basically, the first thing that we need to cover whenever we are covering any report is what is the name of releasing body. So what is the name of releasing body? It is International Monetary Fund. So my dear friends, when it comes to IMF, can anybody tell me here what exactly is IMF? So IMF is the international organization with 189 members, which basically focuses on securing financial stability and enhancing the monetary cooperation at the international level. It, apart from that, promotes the employment growth across the world and basically in its member states. When it comes to the IMF, so my dear friends, it was established in 1944 and it is headquartered in Washington, DC. So in the previous year exams, we have seen that they are also asking the questions across the head of that particular organization which was there in the news. Like in the previous years, we have seen the question on the WTO head. So what exactly is the name of managing director of the IMF? Can anybody tell me that? The name of the person is Kristalina Georgieva. That is the right answer. So with this, we have done the important key static portion of the IMF also, right? Now guys, let's move ahead into this particular report. So this report basically provides analysis and projections of the world economy. So projection किसका देता है? World economy का. In what terms? In the term of GDP growth rate. In term of GDP growth rate. So now you must be having one question in your mind. कि sir ये GDP क्या है? What is a GDP? So my dear friends, let me tell you here, like your marks in the mock test tells us about your preparation levels for the upcoming examinations. Similarly, GDP is the report card of the economy. So GDP is the report card of the economy. Now, how exactly it is a report card of the economy? It basically tells us GDP is the total value of all the goods and services which are produced within a region over a period of time. Okay, and basically the place where this production of the goods and services is being taking place is called the economy. So basically economy is the organized system where people produces the goods, distributes the goods, exchanges the goods, and they also consume the goods and services. So that particular place, that particular organized system is called the economy. So GDP of the economy tells us about whether it is accelerating or decelerating. Okay, I hope that I'm able to make you understand about the GDP as well as the economy. Now moving ahead, so this report basically tells us about the GDP projections of these various economies which are the member states of the IMF, right? Apart from that, world economy, world output के बारे में भी हमें बताता है. And let me tell you here that this World Economic Database is created during the biannual World Economic Outlook exercise. तो साल में 2 बार ये एक्सरसाइज की जाती है. What is the timeline? It begins in January and the June. तो साल में 2 बार इस एक्सरसाइज को शुरू किया जाता है. पहले जनवरी में, देन जून के अंदर. जो जून वाली एक्सरसाइज है उसका रिजल्ट हमें मिलता है अप्रैल के अंदर, एंड द जून वन गिव्स अस द रिजल्ट इन सितंबर और अक्टूबर. So basically there are 2 editions of World Economic Outlook, that is the spring edition and the fall edition. अगर हम बात करें, इससे पहले वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक आया था अप्रैल के अंदर, राइट? एंड नाउ दिस जुलाई 2025 इज द अपडेट टू व्हाट वी हैव सीन इन द अप्रैल 2025 डॉक्यूमेंट. ओके, अगर हम बात करें जो मेजर एडिशन है दोस्तों, दैट वाज अप्रैल ओनली, बट अब IMF ने अपनी रीडिंग्स को, अपने जो प्रोजेक्शंस है उसको अपडेट किया है एज पर द लेटेस्ट एनालिसिस ऑफ द इकोनॉमी एंड द एक्टिविटीज टेकिंग प्लेस अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. Okay, now economy classification. So World Economic Outlook divides the world into 2 major groups. एक है advanced economies और एक है emerging market and developing economies. Okay, so अब हमने एक basic और static portion cover किया about the World Economic Outlook. ठीक है, ये कब से शुरू हुआ था, क्या बताता है, कितने पार्ट्स में इकोनॉमीज को डिवाइड करता है. नाउ कम्स अ मेजर इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, एंड दैट इज दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ द कंट्रीज as per the World Economic Outlook July 2025 update. So according to the World Economic Outlook, the world output is going to be 3% in 2025 and it will be increasing by 0.1% in 2026. So please remember, world output will be 3% in the 2025 and it will be increasing by 0.1% in 2026. And when it comes to the advanced economies, it will be 1.5% in 2025. And the GDP growth rate of advanced economies will be increasing by 0.1% to 1.6% in 2026. Now, after that, what is the most important data for us? That is India-related data. So when it comes to India's GDP growth forecast, India's growth forecast is going to remain at 6.4% in both 2025 and 2026. Please remember this important part. अगर आपका एग्जाम नेक्स्ट एडिशन से पहले होता है, जब वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक का नेक्स्ट एडिशन आएगा उससे पहले अगर एग्जाम होता है, तो दीज आर द इंपॉर्टेंट रिजल्ट्स दैट यू हैव टू यूज टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चंस. ओके, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. सो वर्ल्ड आउटपुट, एडवांस्ड इकोनॉमीज एंड इंडिया. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि इंडिया का जीडीपी ग्रोथ फोरकास्ट कितना रहने वाला है अकॉर्डिंग टू द वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक जुलाई 2025 अपडेट, दैट विल बी for 2025-2026 it will remain at 6.4%. And if I talk about the world output, it will be 3% in 2025 and 3.1% in 2026. That's what we need to understand from here. Now you can see here that IMF ने upgrade किया है इंडिया का growth forecast for 2025 and 2026 at 6.4%. अगर हम global growth rate की बात करते हैं, the same value is there, 3% for 2025, 3.1% in 2026. ओके, सो कितना इंक्रीज हुआ है अप्रैल 2025 एडिशन से? वी हैव आल्सो मेंशन्ड देयर कि 0.2% हैज बीन इंक्रीज इन 2025 अप्रैल 2025 से, और 0.1% भी हुआ है हमारा फ्रॉम द अप्रैल 2025 फॉर द ईयर 2026. ओके, नाउ मूविंग अहेड टू द ग्लोबल हेडलाइन इन्फ्लेशन. सो बेसिकली व्हेन इट कम्स टू द ग्लोबल हेडलाइन इन्फ्लेशन, IMF has said in its World Economic Outlook that it will be 4.2% in 2025 and 3.6% in 2026. Okay, so when it comes to the inflation, can anybody tell me about the what exactly is the inflation? So inflation is the general increase in the level of prices in an economy. So that's what we call the inflation. Okay, so it will be 4.2% in 2025 and 3.6% in 2026. So I hope this is clear. But this report also mentions us that the July prediction for global growth is higher than the April one. But अगर हम इस वैल्यू को कंपेयर करते हैं with the one of the pre-COVID-19 pandemic period, then again it is lower than the historical average of 3.7% of the world GDP growth forecast. I hope this part is clear to everyone. So we have covered all the data in a very detailed manner that you need to remember from examination point of view. Okay, now let's move ahead to the next important news article. But before that, my dear friends, we at EduTap have come up with a huge surprise for all of you. And what's that surprise? Guys, you all know that so many notifications are out in the previous last time. For example, we have seen the notifications being out for PFRD grade A officer exam. We have seen the notification for SEBI grade A examination. We have seen notification of EPFO, EO, AO, APFC exam. Apart from that, we have seen IBPS PO, SBI PO, IBPS clerk notification is out. So that means the exam season is on, and this is the time for you to ensure that your preparation is going in the right direction and you have basically pulled up your socks for basically ensuring that yes, अब हमारी preparation बहुत अच्छी चल रही है. And for that, my dear friends, for have a structured preparation, we at EduTap have come up with this very important news for all of you, that we are providing you huge discounts over our courses, and this is a very limited time period that we have come up with this particular part. Let me tell you here that this discount is only valid till 3rd of August 2025. Please ensure that you are making the most out of this particular part. अगर हम बात करते हैं दोस्तों अपने regulatory bodies exam के courses की, so you can see here RBI grade B, IFSCA, SEBI, PFRDA, NABARD and EDI grade A. अगर आप इन एग्जाम्स की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, so while purchasing the course, what you can do? You can just use the code 1x74 while checking out for that particular course. ओके जब आप कोर्स परचेज कर रहे हैं उस टाइम पर 1x74 कोड को यूज कीजिए एंड मेक द मोस्ट आउट ऑफ दीज कोर्सेज. मेक श्योर दैट योर preparation is in the right direction and you are also making sure that yes, you are going to be the next officer in the upcoming examinations. अगर आप किसी और एग्जाम की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं लाइक बैंकिंग एग्जामिनेशंस की, then you can use the code 1x75 to purchase the course that we have offered for all of you. Apart from that, the people who are preparing for EO, AO and APFC guys, उनके लिए भी बहुत अच्छा एक ऑफर है. 1x60 कोड को यूज करके आप हमारे कोर्स को परचेज कर सकते हैं एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो बुक योर सीट in the upcoming examination, right? So please ensure that you are making the most of it because your time is now. Okay guys, so please ensure that you are getting the most out of it. Now coming back to the session, so the next news article is nationwide financial inclusion saturation campaign. So from the 1st of July to September 30, 2025, Department of Financial Service under the Ministry of Finance is running this particular campaign to ensure that whatever the very important initiatives and the schemes which have been launched by the government of India, we are able to make people aware about those schemes so that they are able to avail the benefits of that particular scheme. So the objective of this saturation campaign was benefit of the flagship scheme reaching every eligible citizen across 2.7 lakh ग्राम पंचायत एंड अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज. तो वहां पर रह रहे जितने भी लोग हैं who are eligible citizens to avail the benefit under this scheme, they are able to make sure that yes, they are availing the benefits, and that's why we are awareing the people about these schemes that we have launched for them. For example, प्रधानमंत्री जन धन योजना, प्रधानमंत्री जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना, प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षा बीमा योजना, Atal Pension Yojana. So all these schemes are being launched by the government of India for the people, and that's why it is very important that people are able to avail the benefit of this particular scheme. Let me tell you here that we have achieved a milestone as a part of this campaign that has been run by the Department of Financial Services under the Ministry of Finance. And what is that particular milestone? Around 1 lakh camps have been organized across the districts since 1st July 2025. That means in just a matter of 1 month, we have achieved over 1 lakh camps which have been organized. And let me tell you here, so many new enrollments have been done under these particular schemes that we have discussed in this particular session. Okay, so this is the nationwide financial inclusion saturation campaign. From here, you need to understand what is the duration of the campaign, what is the objective of the campaign, and which body is responsible for running this particular campaign, that is Department of Financial Services. If I ask you that what exactly is the duration, what is the duration? It is from July 1 to September 30, 2025. That is the duration of this campaign. I hope this is clear. Now let's move ahead to the next important news article, that is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. So my dear friends, why it has been news? So when it comes to the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, let me tell you here that Government of India come up with the scheme in order to modernize the infrastructure in our agriculture sector. So basically, with the help of the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, we basically targeted modernizing the agriculture infrastructure in our country so that we can raise the farmers' income in our country, right? And some other objectives. So basically, as a part of this particular scheme, now the Union Cabinet has approved a total outlay of 6,520 crore rupees for Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. और इसके साथ साथ let me tell you here, an additional amount has been given. This includes an additional outlay of 1,920 crores for ongoing central sector scheme during the 15th Finance Commission cycle. So इस particular cycle के लिए additional outlay भी दिया गया है कितना 1,920 crores का. If a question will be asked that what is the total outlay that has been recently approved by the Union Cabinet for the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, what will be your right answer? The right answer will be 6,520 crore rupees. That is the right answer. Moving ahead. So when it comes to the approval for this particular scheme, you can see here that we have seen 1,000 crore has been allocated for the setting up of 50 multi-product food irradiation units under the component scheme of integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure. तो प्रधानमंत्री किसान संपदा योजना का एक कंपोनेंट है ये, एंड इसके अंडर 50 मल्टी प्रोडक्ट फूड रेडिएशन यूनिट्स को यहां लॉन्च किया जाएगा. इसके अलावा 100 फूड टेस्टिंग लैब्स विल बी देयर. गाइस, फूड इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट और उसकी टेस्टिंग और भी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज basically so many diseases we see that people suffer a lot of diseases due to the basically improper quality of the food, due to the poor quality of food. That is why it is very important that we are having the food testing labs where we can basically see that okay, the quality of the food is really appropriate and people can consume it safely. Okay, then there is 920 crores for sanctioning projects under the various components schemes of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Now what exactly these components are? Let me tell you guys, whenever such schemes are there in the news articles, we have to ensure that we are covering these schemes in a holistic manner. And that's why a detailed session, a complete detailed session of this scheme will be conducted next week by Gurkirat sir for all of you. So please ensure that you are going to follow the government scheme session that we conduct every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30 a.m. And let me tell you, in the upcoming week, he will be conducting the complete detailed comprehensive session on Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Please ensure that you are following that particular session. Okay, moving ahead to the next news article, that is Apna Ghar resting facilities. So my dear friends, you must have seen that जब आप highways पर जाते हैं and you are riding, you are going for a long drive, you can see here that so many trucks are there. So many trucks are going and they are carrying so much of the cargo with them, transferring and transporting the important materials from one place to the another, right? So these truck drivers are basically going to drive, even basically they cover so long distances from one part of the country to the another part of the country. So in during that time, guys, like जब आप लोग कभी जाते हैं and you are traveling from one place to another, you always seek some places where you can just have some rest, so that you are basically resting for some time and you are revitalizing your energy, and then you are again starting with your trip, right? Similarly, for the truck drivers, Government of India has come up with the initiative of Apna Ghar resting facilities. तो ये Apna Ghar resting facility Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas ने launch किया है for these truck drivers, so that we can ensure the safety and well-being of truck drivers during the long haul journeys across the country. जब वो ऐसी लॉन्ग जर्नीज पर जाते हैं तो उनको एक ऐसी प्लेस मिल सके जहां पर वो थोड़ा रेस्ट कर सके, आराम कर सके, जहां पर कुछ बढ़िया खाने की फैसिलिटीज हो, रेस्ट करने की फैसिलिटीज हो, सैनिटेशन फैसिलिटीज हो, सेल्फ कुकिंग एरियाज, क्लीन टॉयलेट्स, बाथिंग एरियाज, डॉर्मिटरीज, रेस्टोरेंट एंड ढाबाज. तो ये सब हम इनको प्रोवाइड करते हैं सो दैट उनकी जो जर्नी है सेफ हो, सिक्योर हो, और ऐसे ही कहीं पर भी उनको बेसिकली वो हमेशा कि उन्हें किसी चीज की कमी ना हो. That is why government of India has tried to ensure all these things for the truck drivers, right? So Apna Ghar initiative, and let me tell you here, as a part of this initiative, government has already created 368 Apna Ghar with 4611 bed besides other facilities. So ये data इतना important नहीं है, but हाँ initiative किसने launch किया, it is important. What is the name of the ministry? If I ask you what is the name of ministry which has come up with the initiative, the name of that particular ministry is Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. That is the right answer. Okay. So moving ahead to the next news article, that is Shailesh Jerujikar. So he has become first Indian to be appointed as the President and Chief Executive Officer of Procter and Gamble. तो ये पहले Indian बने हैं who has been appointed as the President and CEO of Procter and Gamble. Please remember the name Shailesh Jerujikar. Now the next question is on the Sustainable Agriculture Day. So government of Maharashtra has recently announced that from now onwards, from every 7th of August, we will be celebrating the Sustainable Agriculture Day to commemorate the birth anniversary of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan ji, right? Who was the architect of India's Green Revolution, whose research and whose Green Revolution basically increased the productivity of wheat and rice in our country. And this also led to India achieving its food sufficiency and stable economy. And that is why, my dear friends, commemorating his hard work and recognizing his hard work, government of Maharashtra has announced to celebrate 7th August as the Sustainable Agriculture Day. अगर हम डॉक्टर एम एस स्वामीनाथन जी की बात की जाए, सो स्वामीनाथन बायो हैप्पीनेस सेंटर्स को भी स्टैब्लिश किया जाएगा इन द एग्रीकल्चरल यूनिवर्सिटीज ऑफ महाराष्ट्र. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan received Bharat Ratna in 2024 for his contributions to the Indian agriculture. Please remember the name Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, Sustainable Agriculture Day. Okay. So guys, that's all from the today's session. And now let's move on to the most important part of the session, that is solving the MCQs. So here is the very first question for all of you on the nationwide financial awareness saturation campaign. You have to tell me here which of the following statements are correct. So please go through the statements. We have to follow a certain approach when we are answering such question. Like the first part is basically identifying the central topic of the question. Second part is identifying the demand of the question. Third thing is focusing on the keywords. Okay. So what is the central topic? Nationwide financial awareness saturation campaign. What is the demand? Demand is to identify correct statement. Now we have to focus on the keywords. So the first statement, expand financial literacy, ensures access to government financial schemes. 2.7 lakh gram panchayats and urban local bodies के across इसे किया जाएगा. Absolutely right. Second statement, it is spearheaded by Department of Economic Affairs. Guys, under the Ministry of Finance, it will be under the Department of Financial Services. So second statement is incorrect. Third statement focuses on promoting major schemes such as PMJDY, JJBY, SBY and APY. Absolutely right. So what is the right answer? Option C is the right answer to this question. Next question, Government of Maharashtra ने announce किया है what? We will be celebrating Sustainable Agriculture Day. On which date? The date is basically 7th of August. To mark the birth anniversary of which personality? Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So option B is the right answer. Okay. I hope that it is very much clear to all of you. And now guys, I'm having a homework question for all of you. And the people who will be giving me the answer to the homework question in the comment section, they will be the star performer of our today's session. And the question is on the World Economic Outlook July 2025 update. You have to identify the correct statement here. Please ensure after proper revision of the session, you are coming to this question and giving me the answer in the comment section. Now, if I ask you about the homework question of the previous session and who are the star performers of the previous session. So the question was on the National Perspective Plan, and the right answer is option E, as all of the above are correct with respect to the National Perspective Plan. And here is the complete list of all the star performers of our previous session, including Harish, Akashdeep, Vishwajit, Mayank, Priyanka, Sheila. Then we have Mani, Ananya, Pranathi, Harshal, Arnav, Nikhil, Loem and Gautam. So well done guys, I'm really proud of you. And now I want all of you also to ensure that you are giving me the answers to the homework question in the comment section. So guys, that was all from the today's session, and you can always download the PDF of the session for the proper revision from the Telegram channel, जिसका link आपको मिलेगा description के अंदर. Okay. Now again, before ending this session guys, I would like to tell you here that we are running so many discounts for so that you are able to avail the most out of these discounts by availing and by going through our structured courses that we have launched, so that which is going to help you to have a properly structured preparation and basically a smoother flow in your upcoming journey of becoming the next officer. So please remember, just what you have to do, just you have to use one time, and that particular code that we have provided to you in that particular graphic, which is going to help you in order to see that, okay, which course we are having what discount, right? But please ensure that the validity for this discount period is 3rd of August. So all the interested candidates, so जो भी students interested हैं guys, you can definitely make the most out of it, right? क्योंकि ऐसे discounts बार बार नहीं आते हैं. But see, what is the reason behind this? The reason is very simple. Exam season is on. बहुत सारे notifications आ चुके हैं. In the upcoming time, we can also expect other notifications like RBI, NABARD, right? So please ensure that you are also going ahead with your current affairs preparation and your overall exam preparation to be the next officer this year. So guys, that was all from the today's session. Now I will be meeting you in the next session. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.